Welcome to hole number 1 of the Desert Classic 9-hole cup. Now, playing here from the Jamil Dunes course with new hole locations. I got a navigator, and I'm setting up with my extra mile level 6, just using 4.5 bars of topspin, and I'm lining it up down the middle of the fairway here between the two bunkers. Very traditional approach here, and just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, the video is designed to not necessarily be an exact one-to-one of how you're going to play everything. I know you might have a lower level club, you might have a higher level club, you might need to play a Titan here if you have a extra mile level 2 or something like that. But keep in mind that the general path, the route, and I recommend hitting perfect, is going to be a great way to get yourself some drops and get a good score in the tournament. Now, second shot here, I'm kind of between clubs just a little bit. If I had more topspin, I would have considered playing the max distance of my short iron here. But you'll notice that with the level 5, I've only got like less than a bar of topspin. It's not going to be enough. So I bring it just a little bit past the min distance here with the Goliath, applying a couple bars of backspin, and I'm going to play this one at 10% min. The nice thing about the Goliath, especially in rookie, is that you don't need to pull a lot of rings to make your adjustments. So very, very minor adjustment required here with a 3.3 wind. And, you know, I've actually enjoyed my playthrough here of the new Jamil Dunes holes. You know, some of the holes are a little bit better, some are a little bit worse, but there's definitely some drops to be had. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun here out on this old classic course. Hole number 2, this is a par 3. I'm going to show you 2 ways to play here. The first method is going to be the bounce shot. A little bit more conservative, safer play, and generally something everybody should be able to replicate. Now, I do change it up to the katana ball here because I'm looking to use a little bit more left spin. I end up playing about 3 bars of backspin, 3 bars of left spin here. And as you can see, the red rings is kind of where I'm using to set up. And I've got about a half that left ring, half of the red ring in the left rough with that second bounce just onto the green. I'm going to make a 10% max adjustment pull here into this sort of cross headwind, which is my least favorite kind of wind to play on a par 3. And as you can see, I'm giving it, you know, like middle wall left curl, just to kind of give this one idea. Get it close, moves it in. Definitely not my favorite way to play it, but it can get you a hole-in-one. Hole number 2, if you've got the clubs, you got the wind, I highly recommend playing the rough bump here. About 3.8 top, 1.8 bars of left spin, give or take, depending on the setup for you. And I think this is going to be a shot that plays very well. Now, depending on the level of your Goliath will depend on the ball guide here. Level 6 Goliath seems to work out pretty darn well. Now, you'll see that I play this shot at 10% max in the app, but I'm recommending 0% max here on the video. I think 0% max is going to be closer more often than not than 10% max wheel. But again, this isn't a one-for-one guide. I need you to just check out the shots, gotta make a few tweaks in the live tournament conditions, but I want you to have the information you need. Check out erelicgaming.com. I've got free notes based on the video for everyone to download for free and for always. And I'll see you here with the hole number 3. Hole number 3, our first par 5, and new hole location here. It's not my favorite. I'm going to play 4.5 top, 2 bars of right spin here with a Titan and an extra mile. The adjustment on this shot will be 10% max, and as you can see, I've got that second bounce nicely onto the second fairway, and I've got this drive landing position a little bit great proof. Just a little click there, circle break, right curl. You could use a bit more, might need a bit less depending on the wind here, but just to get this one over nicely down the fairway should put us in a nice position for a wood. Now, I do, of course, play the sniper here. We're going to play 3 bars of topspin. Now, I got to tell you, they've really changed the front of the green here. The ball guide can lie a little bit. I put the top of the red roughly at the top of the rough, and you have to get the ball guide to run fairly far through the hole to get this one to roll out at all. If I use 2 bars of topspin here, this one won't even hit the fringe, or it might just stuck on the fringe. So that ball guide is like 4, 5, 6 green squares through the hole. And if we have a headwind here, this might be, you know, a little bit of a spicy rough bump. Still going to be a safe eagle each and every time, even with a bad break here. So keep that in mind. You know, I think this is going to be very safe. We miss here by a very minor amount. I played 10 max, but I'm recommending 5 max to be the general number you're going to work with. As you can see, comes in very, very nicely. Gives you a good look at it. I think this will be a fun hole once we get it dialed in. Hole number 4, the rough bump here is basically out unless you're using a massive amount of side spin on a fancy ball. So Instead, and I don't know why we've got this darn Titan in. You don't need to play a Titan here, okay? Keep that in mind. Navigator should be fine. 4.1 bars of backspin. I'm just going to go directly at the pin here. Bounce over this bunker like it doesn't exist. And as you can see, lots and lots of room here to work with the Power 1 ball. So don't mind the ball you're seeing. The wind would be about the same anyway. And, you know, just going to make a clean 10% mid adjustment here. And going to go directly at it. I suppose some fancy folks might try to play some sort of sand bump or something. But that's not really going to be the play for me from the front tee. Or from the second tee for that matter either. So little bounce. Up we go. Gets very, very, very close here. I think you're going to have some luck on this hole. All right, so hole number 5, not much has really changed here. I set up with a big topper and a navigator ball. Now, if you would like, bring a power 5, grip it and rip it, you can make it to this green. However, this is a very interestingly narrow fairway here. Any kind of a great ball, a bad great ball, you're going to put yourself in a very detrimental situation. So if you've got high-level clubs, you know, maybe a topspin boost ball, that kind of thing, by all means, get it up there, you know what I mean? Make it even easier on yourself. However, for the average player, this is going to be a perfectly wonderful way to play. Max top, 1 left. I did push it up to max. I recommend anywhere approximately circle drop over power here. This one should get up there very, very nicely. The thing about the big topper, the accuracy is not great, particularly at a low level. You got to hit perfect on that shot. Second shot here, quite a bit uphill. You can see from here, I played this one at negative 10% minimum distance. We're going to use 3 bars of backspin. And just because of that nice wind angle, we can play it from a pure min distance, which is always good. 3 back, and tends to sit in here very, very nicely, just like that. You can see. I think hole 5 is going to be one of those pretty much must-drop eagles for most players, you know, just because of the fact it's kind of a shorter par 4. The path to get there is very straightforward and, you know, with power balls and such. But I want you to have this shot. You don't need, you know, me to show you how to grip it and rip it. But I think this kind of shot is going to be important to have in your bag, especially for those really lower level accounts. So perfect away, negative 10 min, 3 back with the thorn. Get yourself a boom. See you on number 6. Hole number 6 can vary greatly depending on the level of clubs and balls in your bag. With a bit of a headwind here, I set up with my big topper at max power 3 distance, as you can see. And now I'm going to switch over to my power 5 ball because the second shot as well, you need to have the reach. And I've got a kind of low level sniper. So I'm using 9 bars of top spin, 1 bar of right spin here. And as you can see, I don't push it to max here. Trying to keep that needle as slow as possible because you don't want to hit a bad grate on this hole either. You'll definitely have a hard time getting the eagle here if you end up in the bunker or something like that. So I go circle drop over power, nothing crazy, trying to keep it clean, perfect down the middle. You got to do that. And especially with the level of my sniper on this account, having that extra reach with the Zerk here is going to be very helpful. 20 max on the drive, 20 max on the second shot. Especially for the second shot, for the approach, it will change depending on the wind direction. With this wind direction, it's actually kind of helping us a little bit. It might not look like it, but, you know, a little bit of a tailwind, pushing it in the correct direction. 4.5 top, 2 bars of left spin seems to put me here in a very nice way up towards the pin. I've got the red ring touching the top of the rough, and, you know, again, if you've got a little bit higher level sniper, a little bit more top spin. I don't remember if the Sniper 10 has more topspin. Don't hold me to that. But if you have to, you could always use a Horizon here as well. That's a very, very helpful club to make up that topspin gap with the wood. That, you know, it's just always an option that you can keep in mind. So I play this one at 20 max. And unfortunately, I do hit a little bit of a great ball here. But you'll see just how close this one comes. And just how this is the kind of path that you can take to get yourself very, very close to the hole. Give us a really nice look at a possible albatross. Hole number 7, our final par 3. I mean, this shot cries out for a rough bump. Look at that big, thick patch of rough directly in front of the hole. I played this one anywhere from 2 to 4 bars of topspin. In this situation, I think I'm like 3.8 or something, maybe closer to 4, and 1 bar of left spin. And as you can see, I mean, you've got a great, big, juicy path to the green. If you have a tailwind here, you're going to need to use closer to the 2 bars of topspin. But this one comes in really, really nicely. I play it at 10% mid. Seems to be the elevation that's getting me at the pin the most. And I think this is going to be, again, a very, very droppable shot. I think we're going to have a pretty low scoring tournament. I mean, that almost always happens when you have a course that's been around for a while. Even with these new hole locations, it's different, but it's definitely not that crazy. Even I can get some booms. It's hot, but it dropped. Let's go. Hole number 8, this is our final par 4. I'm going to show you a couple ways to play here. This is the conservative method, bouncing on the first fairway. I'm just going to play it with a navigator ball here. 4.5 bars of topspin, setting up with that extra mile. You could play any driver you have. This is a great spot to play a Thor's Hammer if you happen to have one in a decent level. Just saying, whatever the most accurate driver is. And I'm going to make a 10% max adjustment here. Not too much of a big deal with the 2.7 wind. Now, this is a bit of a tailwind, I understand, but this is the shot you're really going to want to play if you've got a bad headwind here. It's going to put you in a better position. You might set up at the power 1 max line, then change to a power 3 ball, and then take your shot in a headwind situation. So keep that in mind. Lots of different ways you can set up and play these holes. I'm just trying to give you a really good idea. Second shot here, going to play this with the Thorn, and we're going to basically play this one with 3 bars of backspin and a 10%. Now, right at the max line, this is a good thing. You know you're at a very accurate distance. You don't have to try to use a slider value when you're immediately at the max or the min line. So there's definitely some value to this kind of setup and giving you consistency on that second shot. 3 back directly at the pin here, and 10% max is going to be the adjustment. This hole, as you can see, I mean, the hole is moved over like 3 or 4 green squares, a couple squares closer to us. I think they fixed the glitch that was in front of the hole here previously. But I'm still having kind of like intermittent success with this one. The great ball didn't help me here, but I really believe in this shot. And I think, as you can see here, it's going to put us very, very close to a drop. All right, so hole 8 again. This is the grip it and rip it shot you want to see. Checking it out with the power 3 ball. It's possible, but not so much with this EM6. 4.5 bars of topspin here, and as you can tell, we are going to send this one as close to the green as we possibly can. So bring in the Zerk or whatever your best ball might be. I'm going to adjust 10% max on this shot, and I could definitely push it back to max here if I wanted to, but it's going to make the needle so much faster. But as you can see, you're kind of getting a medium speed needle here, which is a lot easier to control and hit that perfect ball. The last thing you want to do is try to be a hero and then stick this one in the bunker. That's not going to do you any favors. That's a big bunker, and it's not a very good chance to get the drop from there. From here, though, we're just a little bit outside of the range of the end bringer, but I think you'll see how nicely this one plays. We're really just a couple squares beyond maximum there. So there, checking that out. So instead of playing it at 20% slider, I play it at 25% slider. Now, it's going to depend again on the wind, on how far or how close you are to the green. But this is a shot that's actually worked out very, very well for me. So as you can see, 25%, 3.7 rings here on the app with a 4.1 wind. Is basically the pull. I'm trying to get this needle, the wind needle, to be as straight as possible. And we're just going to make that 3.7 ring pull. I do like to try to pull over the yellow ring anytime it's greater than 2 rings. If it's 2 rings or less, I tend to pull from the edge of the white ring. So this time we get the perfect. You know what that's going to mean. We got to get the drop on hole number 8. I really hope you do. Okay, so hole number 9, I don't suggest a kingmaker very often, and I don't take it lightly. But at max distance with the quarterback and a kingmaker here, I'm going to play 3 bars of backspin, 2 bars of right spin. The reason I'm playing the hole just like this is it gives us a very safe drive, which is going to lead to a very, high likelihood of you getting a nice chance on your approach. You don't necessarily want to go crazy here on this drive. If you put yourself in a rough or sand situation here, you're basically killing the eagle dead in the water. So straightforward drive, nothing crazy, 10% max there. And you'll see why now I played the kingmaker. It is specifically for the side spin on the approach shot. On the approach here, I'm going to play 2 top, 3 left. We're going for that rough bump. As you can see, beautifully at max distance here. Plays very, very nicely. But with that new hole location, you need a side spin 4 ball, side spin 5 ball to really get this one where you want it to be. I was confused a little bit using backspin, being like, what the heck's wrong with my note? And then I looked down and realized, oh, top spin, 2 top, 3 left. Now, as you can see, we're still just a little bit outside of where we want to be as far as getting the ball guide to the hole. So I found that just adding about a half a ball of left curl here has been working really, really well to get this one to come in close to the shot we need. Guys, I wish you the very best of luck in the desert Classic 9-hole cup. I'm looking forward to playing this one. I'll be live in pro. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. All the Golf Clash content coming your way. Good luck, much love. We'll see you out there. Thanks for watching.